Hello, my name is Sunny Day, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life. When I talk about the fact that I don't know what I'm doing with my life, this is what I mean. To preface this, I am only about to turn 20 years old, so I know that in the grand scheme of things, me not knowing what to do with my life is every single 20-year-old's dilemma, especially with everything going on right now. The point of this for me is to make a video being like, to validate others and also validate myself, and that I am not alone and you are not alone. And I think COVID has caused so many things where people don't know what they're doing, what's good for them, what's the right way to go about something. I think the best place to start is going to be at the beginning. My hair doesn't even look red. I dyed my hair red. Anyways, the best place to start is the beginning. And the beginning being around junior year of high school, because I think that is the biggest time of anybody's career in which everyone around you is talking about what you should be doing, what you should be pursuing. Because college is coming around soon and college applications are coming through. In high school, I was very much so, not like top of the class, but I was within that realm. High honors, APs, things like that. Like I did the whole shtick. I followed what people thought I was supposed to do, which is, put in your college applications, get into a school, get a degree, blah, 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 etc., right? And as I mentioned, junior year of high school, top of the class, I graduated 18th of my high school class in itself. And this is not for me to brag, it's for me to say, like, even the kids who got their together and did all that good and, seem like they know what they're doing with their lives, have no clue what they're doing with their lives. I can say that from firsthand experience. All of my friends when I was in high school saw me as that kid who knew what they were going to do in life, had the plan to do it, and was set forth on doing that plan. And part of it's true. I'm not saying that all of it's like completely wrong. I did have an idea of what I wanted to do. I had a plan set forth. It was more of other factors came in and changed everything, the big one being COVID, and that plan soon fell apart, and it was almost like figuring out what I was going to do, and I think a lot of people within my age group felt that way. I graduated high school in the year of 2020, great time, and that was the beginning of the pandemic, so to speak, and I only applied to one college, got into that college, the City College of New York, with the hope of pursuing something within music. I was going to live in New York City for however long I chose to, and that was what my mind was set on. But then COVID happened and everything changed all around, and because of the fact that tuition costs didn't go down within City College, even learning online, I was like, because of the fact I don't know what I want to do with my degree and like what area I'm going to pursue, I was like, that doesn't seem right. I don't want to spend a big hunk of money on something that I could get at community college if I'm just doing the basics. So I went for a year at community college and also was getting like stimulus paychecks at the same rate, so I was like making good money there. And also just going to school, and it seemed like, okay, this is going to be my path right now. I'll take this year and then I'll go back to college within at least 2 years of doing community college and then finish up my degree, and that's that, right? Well, things didn't really go that way. I decided sometime within, 2021. Now we're at 2021. Kind of like summer time-ish, after I finished that year at NCC, I was like looking at colleges and things like that, and I was learning that I didn't think that City College was really the college I wanted to go to because it didn't have a lot of degrees I was interested in. So I ended up scrapping that and looking at colleges elsewhere. The big one that I saw was within the UK, in the good old city of Brighton, which as a Dream SMP fan, if I go to Brighton, not only am I getting a great college degree that I wanted in a school that I wanted that had all the things that I wanted, but also right by the sea in England, which was another country I wanted to go to. I was always between New York City and England. Those were the two where I'm like, I want to go to those places and live there. And the reality of New York City hit harder for me, and I was just like, I don't really think this is a place I want to go to. So my sight went to England after that. So I'm at this stage of like, okay, I'm going to start saving money to go to college overseas, and started looking at different plans and things like that. At the same time, when I'm in this lull of like not in school, I didn't have a job yet. I was looking at jobs, I hadn't gotten one. In between that year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do music, like just practice on music and things like that. I want to produce and write and do all that things for a song. And like I mentioned, I'm into the Dream SMP. Maybe not as much as I once was, but I'm still like somewhat into it. And at that time, I saw a piece of fan art that inspired me to write a song about Jack Manifold within the Dream SMP lore. And I won't go too much into it because I feel like I have on my TikTok and things like that. Which we'll get into my TikTok and where all of that is. But no, words on the fan art itself had inspired me to write a song about living out of spite. So I went and did that. And it did good. It's gotten 100 streams, which is impressive. I think that was like March or so, it had 100 streams, and I released it around, I think, October, November, if I'm not mistaken. So for a good couple months, as someone who's like a small musician, a small person. I am a small person, I'm 5'2". But being like small within the sphere of influencers and internet itself, I think that was impressive and something that I hold as an accomplishment. So, like I mentioned, October, November-ish, I don't remember the exact date, I released a song called Determination. I released a song called Determination in November-ish, and it did well. Jack Manifold listened to it on a stream. Oh my god, here's a clip. And then from that point, I started to post more on my TikTok account. Around the same time I released that song, I had left my job at the bakery and had gotten into this job at a high-end retail store. I won't be naming names because I am gonna talk good and bad about this place, and because I'm still working there, and if anything, all else fails in me trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life, if this is the only thing I have left at this job, I don't want to lose it by posting some dumb shit online. I feel like that's understandable. I always thought that this was a good career to have for right now. Again, all the jobs I've been having are just for right now, because big UK, woo, all that. And then around January of 2022, this year, I hit 250 or 60 followers on my TikTok account. And that was all in like 2 to 3 days. I had posted a TikTok that I'll show up on the screen. It's basically me being like, oh, if you're not into the Dream SMP, why aren't you following me? Essentially, that's what it was, right? It was a trend at the time, and it got me just like a huge boost of followers all at once, out of nowhere. It was like exciting, but also just like, holy shit, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what's going on? Because I didn't expect that. Like, that was just a fun little TikTok I made. I was like, if I get a couple followers, that's beneficial to me. And I rode that high for a little bit of having that many followers, as many people do, like when they're first starting out, and all of a sudden, like, this happens. I need to open my door, because my cat. Come on. Come in. I told you, once you're in here with me. So, avenues. You wanted to come in, but now you're crying to go out. To bully. Can you make up your mind, please? Okay, sit on the floor. So, option 1, working at this retail store. Corporate-esque retail store. Now, my job as a salesperson within this high-end store is, I think, different from other stores where you're like, if you're just like working at like a small store in the mall, it's different because for us, commission and selling money are the biggest aspects of this job. You're pushed very often to make as much money as you can, whether that be doing it physically in store, online with like the app that we were given by the company to sell to customers through there. There's a lot of that. And we all have to make a goal. Every single day we have a goal of an amount of $2,000. If you're a full-time employee within women's clothes, which is where I work. Yes? Do you work? Go ahead, tell us your thoughts. You're all trying to make the same goal of like $2,000 a day. That's how much that we are told that we need to sell in order to make our commission. Now, commission works where you have your set amount where you make your paycheck, right? If you sell more than what your paycheck is worth by a certain percentage, I forget what ours is, I think it's like around 6%. We have a paycheck every 2 weeks, so say within that pay period of 2 weeks, you sold $20,000, right? Oh, thank you for liking my video. Bjorn49, thank you for the like. $20,000. And say your paycheck is around like $900, and that's with tax taken off of it, right? So if your paycheck is $900, the percent at which you make your commission is around 6%. This is how much your commission is. Now, if this number is bigger than your paycheck number, you get this number. However, everyone's trying to get that number. Everyone's trying to make that money. So it's a very competitive field in which everyone's trying to make their commission and make their money's worth, because at the end of the day, we're not getting paid that much. I'll be honest. I'll be so honest and clear in telling you guys that I make $14.45 an hour. At a high-end retail store, I make $14.45 an hour. Living anywhere at $14.45 right now, it's not worth much. And this is supposed to be this high-end place, right? That's how much you make as just like a salesperson. Out on the floor, working, whatever. Now, another factor that they won't tell you about when you get into this job and you're interviewing and you're going through it is returns have a major factor in how much money you make. Returns are like a negative balance to how much you make in sales. So the example I'll have is yesterday I made $31.97 in sales. That is $3,197.47. We won't forget the cents. That's how much I made in sales. The returns took off $1322.80. So in total, my net sales, the number that matters the most in like making a commission, this is all that's going to count towards my commission. This is $1874.67. And when you're going throughout your day, you can use the screen and like check in to see how much money you're making. And yesterday for me, it was like me like working my butt off, like helping customers, selling all this money, whatever, and then seeing my numbers be so low because of the fact that I had $1,300 in returns. It is so discouraging to like work so hard and then all your efforts be taken down because somebody decided to return something. As hard as it is, and as much as I want this discouragement to almost lead me to another road and not to take this road, because while It is discouraging to have these numbers and to like work and sell. There's a lot of opportunities within this company to get higher up positions and to make even more money and a bigger salary and better benefits and things like that. It's still a corporation. At the end of the day, while it is just a high-end retail store, there's ways to navigate the field to get to like the highest rankings. So all in all, there are better opportunities there in my head than something like social media. At that same rate, is it something I'm incredibly passionate about? No. Is that a factor? Yes. So let's go into social media and what that's doing. Like I mentioned, I have my TikTok page that has right now 240 followers. I haven't been making as, actually it was 239 when I checked, because I was just like, oh, someone unfollowed today, fun. But that's a big thing. And numbers within social media versus numbers at this high-end retail store, I think are different. At the store I work at, the numbers are such a big factor. It's what your value is as like an employee, is how much money you're making and what are you bringing and where are you showing that your department can do. And your managers put that pressure on you because they don't want to look bad and have their boss think that their department is slacking off and not working as hard because their numbers are bad, and that reflects onto you. So there's a lot more pressure, I feel like, with numbers. With social media, that pressure is put only on yourself. You are the only person that's saying, this is my value, this is my worth. Other people can push that narrative, but if you don't listen to other people in that way, then you're the only person that can be hurt by how bad your numbers are. And that's saying social media in a hobby sense. When it becomes a job, I can't say for certain because it isn't my job. At the end of the day, what's making me money is not social media. It's, the high-end store. So I can't say for certain how that changes in a career aspect when you look at social media. So around a couple months ago, I decided to invest money into streaming, live streaming. Oh my god. The money I had in my savings, I used some of that in order to get like a good computer to run everything, which is what I'm using now, my webcam and this microphone, which I already had because music. But, this little light here that I have in front of me, all of that money went towards something that was like, maybe I could find something in this. You know what I mean? Like, let's try streaming out as an avenue. It has been meh. And the reason why it's meh is I think I put so much expectation to this avenue where I'm like, okay, I'm going to get back into the groove of this. I'm going to get into streaming, and I'm going to start streaming a lot, and I'm going to get people to look at my streams, and I'm going to post it on my TikToks and that, but like trying to find another avenue to go about this social media thing. I didn't realize how much I would be so meh about streaming, and I mean that in terms of my feelings. For me, streaming has been subpar. I enjoy it sometimes, and a lot of that goes to me having problems showing my face live on camera. I don't really like to do that. I found that out very quickly, but then like my second or third stream, which is why I haven't been streaming too much, because it's like, not only do I not have the energy to stream itself, and sometimes it can feel more like a chore, which is not something you want in like a job or something you want to pursue as a passion or a hobby. That's not what you're doing it for. So having that, those feelings these past couple of weeks and stuff has made me be like, again, like, I'm going through this again. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. And it's like every single road I go through isn't right. With music, it's been so hard to push and like get shit out there and have people, I made another song. I made another song this year called Firework, and I don't even know how it does number-wise, but I haven't even been looking at it, nor have I been pushing it, because it's like every time I do, nothing comes of it. And I sound so whiny and so baby. I sound so baby. But it's just how I feel. It's like, it's so disheartening and discouraging to put so much effort into something and try and get it out there, but the system doesn't work for you. Every single time you try and you try and you try, and it hurts when it doesn't succeed. I think the only thing that I've been like into streaming wise is like I did one stream where I read some of like Harry Potter with like ambient music in the back, and that was like the one thing I was like, I'm into this. Like, this is something I want to do again. At the end of the day, I know no matter what music is for me, I think that one is always going to stay as a passion. I know that that's always going to stay as a hobby. I know that's always going to be something that I will want to do in the future. That is the one thing I can be certain about, and it's the one thing I know that I will like to do no matter how many people are watching me. I think also tarot videos have not helped me, because I'll be like, oh my god, you are up for success, everything's gonna come for you, your abundance, the passions that you're working on are gonna become fruitful and financially abundant, and then when I don't see that shit, I'm like, where's the money? Where is the money? I want to end this on a better note. I don't want to make this be like, oh my god, woe is me, my life sucks. I understand and appreciate all the things I have in my life, my friends, my family, the house that I'm living in right now, the job that I have, you know, the car that I have. All these things are leaving me with a good life at the end of the day. I mentioned before that I thought streaming was a passion, and I think it's because I had so many ideas, but doing it live in that format, I don't think is for me. I think the reading Harry Potter thing is something I'm into, and like doing that because I like to read little bedtime stories and make it all nice and comforting and just like something fun there. I don't see that as something I would stop doing, but here, and like I said, here I am on YouTube trying to figure this out once more, you know? Because I have ideas. Like, there's one thing I really want to put out into the world. I don't care who's watching. I want to rank every single... Excuse me. I want to rank every single Beatles song in a tier list. All of them. In just one big video. Or stream, or whatever I decide to do. I don't think I'm going to do a stream, but... I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, this is just another thing of me putting out there I don't know what I'm doing. This is me trying out another thing and seeing if it succeeds or if it fails miserably. But at the same time, I think the lesson that I've learned in all this is that success can only come with failure. You can't be successful overnight. That's not really a thing. And I think the high that I got from having all those followers on TikTok all of a sudden is what made me think that was a thing. Like, oh, I can just ride this wave now. I can just go through it and it would all be okay. No. That's not realistic. That's not life at all. You're gonna have times where you think that you have nowhere to go and that everything is out to get you when you don't have like an easy solution to anything, and it's okay. It's okay to feel like going down around you and things are collapsing, because there's so many people out there that are feeling the same way, even if you don't realize it. There's so many people that have no idea what they're doing with their lives, and that is so okay, because it's everyone. It's everyone. It's not just you. I don't know anyone, honest to God, that at this day and age has a plan set and knows what they're doing for the next 50 years, and that plan is never going to derail. Because even if they think that that's going to go and be that way, and they have this set plan of all these points of where they're going to hit in life, life isn't going to be that way. You might think life is that way and that your plan is going to work out that way, but life isn't going to do that to you. Life is going to take you on whatever turn, valley, whatever it wants to take you, for a reason. There's a lesson to be learned in those plans that life gives you, not the ones that you create. Nothing in life is guaranteed. You can only put it out there and hope for the best and hope that something comes back to you. It's a learning lesson. Every single thing you do is a lesson in life, one way or another. And I speak like I'm some high wisdom person. You know, I speak like I have all this knowledge, and I think I do and I don't. There's certain things that I don't know. Jack. but someone else could teach me, and I would gain knowledge from that, and that would be my lesson learned. But I first have to go through the failures before I can even get to that point. I feel like at this rate, when it comes to social media, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to streaming, whatever I'm doing, which I don't know. I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing, but I think this video is just to remind me that it is okay to not know what I'm doing, and all I can do is put out there what I can put out there, and hopefully that comes back to me at some point, whether that's today, whether that's tomorrow, whether that's in the next 5 years, whether it's in the next couple of months, I don't know. And that is so scary to me that I don't know what's going to happen next. But that's just life. It is. It is so scary to think about. There's nothing that you can predict. Tarot videos can't predict shit, okay? So, all in all, this being my first YouTube video on here, what kind of content am I going to post? I don't know. And honestly, that's okay.